This Coast to Coast Entertainment Network program is brought to you by Beside Me Bracelets. Our bracelets are handmade for any occasion. Use the promo code Coast to Coast for 15% off. Visit their website at besideme.com. Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry. With 24-hour shopping available, use the code 160920 and show her some love, like she showed us. Reaper Apparel Company, a commitment to live your most authentic way every single day. Visit reaperapparelco.com for more information and a look at all of their apparel offerings. And by Good Day Embroidery, your local source for custom embroidery, screen printing, and more. Log on to gooddayembroidery.com for more information.
I guess we lost James for a little bit. Welcome to On Deck here on Coast to Coast Entertainment Network. I am Crispy Bacon, and it is continuing baseball postseason. Right. Oh, here comes James again. Just 1 second, but he is jumping on real quick as we get set for the postseason play again. James, can you hear me?
Now I do, yeah. I had to come back in. Hi, everybody. Welcome to On Deck, a very special postseason episode. We'll be keeping track later on with the Dodgers and the Mets going on Game 4 of the NLCS. Right now, as it stands in the bottom of the fifth inning, the Dodgers lead 5-2, and the Mets have a little threat going on. But, man, we'll get to all that going on soon. We'll talk about C2C Entertainment Sports Network, all the programs going on during the week. Later, we'll have a doubleheader with Kicking It today, I believe. Tonight after this, around 9 p.m., I want to say. It's in a couple hours from now, or less than a couple hours from now.
Well, by the time the stream or the show ends, it'll be about an hour.
Sure. But also, Friday we'll bring Entertainment Hour with me, Randy, and Crispy Bacon, of course. Sunday morning tailgate with me, Tim, and Crispy Bacon, and Brandon, of course, coming through. Monday will be C2C at night with me and Callan. Tuesday game night with all of us, whoever shows up. So, and then was it Creeping It Real will be back, I believe, tomorrow.
Yep.
So check that out. That hasn't been around in a while, since last fall, I want to say.
Yeah.
Or the spring or something like that.
I think spring.
Feels like that. I haven't felt the need to be scared in a while, but
well, I mean, it does fit the month.
It does. Definitely does. So please like, follow, subscribe, share, and give us 5 stars on Facebook. So check us out for all of that on Coast to Coast Entertainment Network for everything in your life. Man, the postseason's been heating up, Chris. I was checking out, of course, Game 4 of Game 3, excuse me, of the Guardians hosting the Yankees, and it was a real great back and forth affair. It was just awesome. It was something. It was a game you'll never forget, an ending you'll never forget in Cleveland tonight. Let's get into the scores of what happened. The Yankees started off the scoring with Trevino getting a single, bringing home Volpe to make it 1-0 for New York. And then in the bottom of the third, Cal Manazzo had a 2-run home run for Cleveland to make it 2-1. And then in the bottom of the 6th, Andres Jimenez had a single to bring home Lane Thomas for Cleveland, and it's 3-1. And you thought, great, they're getting outs, whatever the case is. Chris, remember I was talking about that Cleveland closer that only gave up 5 runs all regular season long? He's been shaky in this postseason.
Yeah, wasn't it in his contract or something like that?
I don't know. But he was really, really good in the regular season. But in every series, it seems like he's been having issues. That's when he faced the big part of the lineup of the New York Yankees. So Soto walked, and then Aaron Judge hit a 2-run home run to tie the game in that top of the 8th inning to make it 3-3. And then the next batter, Juan Carlos Stanton, hit a home run. It looked just like the same, a line drive home run to make it 4-3, and the Yankees took the lead. You're thinking, oh no, it's going to be 3-0. You know, the sweep is coming tomorrow, whatever the case was, right?
Right.
Bottom 8th goes by, the Guardians don't score. Top of the 9th, Gleyber Torres had a sacrifice fly to bring home Volpe again, and the Yankees went up 5-3. 5-3. Going to the bottom of the 9th, the Guardians would need some type of heroics. And Johnsky Noel came up with a man on second. It was Lane Thomas who had a double. This is all coming with 2 outs, by the way. And he had a home run that just landed, let's say, to tie the game at 5. It was just so dramatic. I had the radio call going with Tom Hamilton of Cleveland. It was absolutely amazing. So the game went into extras. Top of the 10th, the Yankees failed to score. And David Fry came up with Bo Naylor on base. So Cleveland had 1 on base. All they needed was that run to come home. But David Fry, just like he did in the Tiger series, the ALDS, had a 2-run home run and a walk-off home run by David Fry tonight to win it 7-5. I mean, it was absolute dramatics. Absolutely amazing what Cleveland was able to do tonight. I mean, that fan base at the Progressive Field went from the highest of highs to the lowest of lows, where people were leaving once the home runs were hit by New York in that 8th inning. And then it went back up to the highs once the tied home run happened, and then the walk-off home run happened. It was just so amazing what went on. So again, the Guardians win 7-5 in 10 innings today. So the Yankees still lead the series 2-1. But man,
You mean Mets?
No, New York Yankees. This is the ALCS.
Yankees? I know, but Yankees are playing right now.
No,
Oh,
the
are
Mets
they?
are.
Okay.
I know both New York teams.
I'm getting them mixed up.
So no, it's all good. So tomorrow, Game 4, at 5:08 West Coast time, East Coast time, of course, 8:08 on a Friday night too. That place is going to be jumping. Both fan bases will be jumping. Luis Hill, who had a great, surprising breakout regular season, will go for the New York Yankees. And then for the Guardians, remember yesterday, I think I was talking with Ace about who the Guardians may start. They didn't know yet. I think it came down to, what would happen in this game 3 tonight. And their starter for Cleveland will be someone named Williams, Gavin Williams. He had a 3-10 record this year. He'll probably be on a real short leash for the 25-year-old pitcher. And he has not pitched in the postseason. And the last time he did pitch was the 12th of September. Man, that is going to be something to watch for. In the National League, last night, the Dodgers won 8-0. But it reminded us of Game 1 where they won 9-0. And then the Mets bats woke up in Game 2 on Sunday, and they held on to win, I believe it was 7-3. And then you had Game 3 yesterday with the 8-0 shutout for LA. And right now, as I mentioned, the Dodgers lead 5-2, and they're threatening again in the top of the sixth. So we'll get to that. But man, what do you think of the AL and the NLCS so far, Crispy Bacon? There's so much drama, mostly in the ALCS. The Guardians kept throwing the ball around at Yankee Stadium. Wild pitches galore, errors galore, and then they come home and have a dramatic walk-off win.
Yeah, I mean, watching all the playoff action last year when the Rangers were in it, it was definitely dramatic, not in like in a bad way, but like there was so much drama that you had to keep watching. And I know this year, like every year, it's like that. I know Cleveland fans really want to, at this point, go to a World Series. Maybe they'll win it. Who knows? But at least right now, they want to get to a World Series. Mets have been good. They've shown they've been dominant in the past, but I think Cleveland has woken up, and maybe there's a chance there.
Who knows? As the buzzer goes off, it's just my dryer. That was perfect timing when you stopped talking. That was so damn perfect.
I'm sorry. I'll be quiet now.
That was so perfect. Oh, no. A deep drive to left field, and Mookie Betts has hit a 2-run home run to make it 7-2, the Dodgers.
Do we call it over?
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to keep watching, but
it feels like yesterday, basically. That's Betts' third home run of the postseason, and these two came home to score last inning. So they continue to pile on, and these Met fans are just drained. They know they're defeated. We'll see if they have a little bit left from the Mets. We'll see if they have anything left, to be honest with you. But it's not looking good right now for the New York Mets. The good luck of Grimace is starting to wind down, basically.
They need
tomorrow. They need all the McDonald's crew, Ronald McDonald, whomever else. Game 5 tomorrow would be at 2:08. The Dodgers trying to make it a series ender tomorrow, clincher. They're trying to go 3-1 up today, and then trying to go to the World Series, first time since 2020.
First
tomorrow.
Time
That's the only thing. Jack Flaherty will go for the Dodgers tomorrow, and the Mets have someone named TBD announced. To be announced.
Better watch out for him. He's always perfect.
We don't know who that. They need that though. So that's it. That's the postseason talk. There's so much that has gone on this date, but we'll get to some other topics too. In the MLB. Now, I know me and Ace talked about this on Sports Minute yesterday, but if you could pull up the, or I think I can pull up the picture with, I don't know if you still have it, with the Rays Stadium and the roof coming off. Just absolutely devastation with Hurricane Milton coming in. Oh, there it is. I'll put it up for once. This feels weird, man, that I have this and that.
It's okay. Yeah.
I have the power for once. This is weird. Well, anyway, Tropicana Field will not be ready for opening day for 2025. And, whenever this happens, it reminds us of Hurricane Katrina with the
with the cots
with the what is it called? With the Superdome being damaged.
Right.
That it reminded me of that. Just that look right there. And what was interesting to note, you see inside, they actually had cots that were there for evacuees and for the National Guard, actually, I should say. So it's going to rain there eventually again, and there's no drainage in that ballpark right now. Well, I don't even call that a ballpark. It would cost 9 figures to replace the roof, and they're moving on to a new ballpark in 3 years. So what they can do, they could play at their minor league stadium. They could play at the Yankees spring training home that's in Tampa. Or they could go play with the Marlins in Miami for a year or so. Or
Toronto.
No. People are saying Montreal just for fun. But they don't really have. They have the old Olympic Stadium, but that's about it. So there's options, but it's like moving into a little stadium like the A's are doing with Sacramento.
Speaking to them, did you see what Tim thought of in the chat?
Right now?
In one of the chat.
Oh no. What do you say?
Like, he's like, wouldn't it be funny if that they played where the A's?
Oh yeah, that was a big thing on X. Ever since this happened a couple of days ago, and it's like, hey, there's a stadium that's free, but they're going to do some work on it for the new tenants that will be in there. So that's going to be unavailable. But like I mentioned, they can either go to their spring training home, somebody else's spring training home. Remember, the Blue Jays couldn't go to Canada and play. So they played at their spring training home in Dunlin, Florida. So they might just do that.
See, that's where I thought of like a minor league.
Yeah, or spring. You know how all the Florida teams, they have all their spring training homes there, or half of the league, I should say. No, more than half of the league, I think. 16 of them are in Florida. 14 are in Arizona, by the way. And it's weird.
Even.
Yeah, it's weird too because it's the Astros that never left Florida to go to Arizona. But everybody else everybody else, like our teams, play in Arizona, but they've never left Florida. But everybody else has. The Dodgers, Cleveland, the Reds, they all left to go to Arizona. But they're like the only one that plays out west that haven't went back out or went to Arizona. It feels kind of, it just feels kind of odd, I think, in that case. But yeah, I was trying to think of places they can go, and the fact that their new ballpark is going to be 3 years away, it's just so.
Well, it's going to be It's going to be at least 3 years, but you kind of have to put in their tentative plans of, well, it could be delayed because of this or that, whatever. You kind of have to expect it to be delayed a little bit.
Well, not the new stadium. You're trying to hopefully get that done quicker.
Hopefully.
But that's a lot to ask, though.
But it's Florida.
Yeah. And there's always a threat of another hurricane coming through as well.
They better make that stadium hefty.
Yeah. I think it's going to be out. Oh, I don't know if it's outdoors or not. I got to figure that out.
But I mean the structure. Like when they're building it.
Oh, yeah. They won't have one of these roofs again where it can fall in. That will never happen.
The Vikings. They should have learned from the Vikings.
Yeah. This will never, ever happen again. That's for sure. They'll never have a roof like this. All right. Some other news that came out that kind of, I think, it didn't shock anybody. But, again, we were talking about it on Sports Minute yesterday, me and Ace, with the White Sox maybe for sale. if you can see here, it'll take a minute, I think. Jerry Reinsdorf, the owner of the White Sox and the Chicago Bulls. He might sell the White Sox. Remember, Crispy Bacon, they're coming off the worst year anyone's had ever record-wise in the modern era. 121 losses. There's nowhere to go but up for now. And, you know, there's been a lot of talk about that, like, hey, sell the team. That was going to happen with the Angels, but that didn't happen. The Twins and the Dunlin family are looking to sell their team as well. They're just exploring it. I don't know if it will actually happen. But that's why I wanted Big B in yesterday to hear his reaction and who he wants to buy the team and to spend. And it feels like the White Sox, they haven't spent, and they've done everything wrong, almost like the Angels have as well. So, and then, of course, you have the A's owner who, you know, that they want him. Was too late, though. They're leaving Oakland for Sacramento. Maybe they could get something latched it. No. But in Vegas, remember, they had the building, the Tropicana Resort, you know, get what is that called? Exploded or explosion. So they could build the ballpark there. And that
is that what that was about?
Yeah. So that they finally did it.
I saw the video. There's fireworks and all this. I know it's Vegas. I get it, but I'm like, what is going on?
That's how they do things in style, and you know, a lot of people are thinking it's not going to work out. Now, the rumor came out though that Dave Stewart, the former Oakland Athletic, LA Dodger pitcher from the 80s, 70s, and 80s, there's a rumor him and his group are trying to buy the team, the White Sox here, and move them from Chicago to Nashville. There were rumors, I think, last season that they were going to move, that they were thinking of moving to Nashville. Would you imagine that?
I mean, we talked about a team moving to Nashville. It wouldn't be like a total expansion team.
That's what I was hoping for.
It'd just be like more of a relocation.
Right. But you know how you got confused with the New York teams. You know, it's always been the Chicago White Sox and it's always been the Chicago Cubs. So it'd feel weird with just the Cubs in Chicago. But it just feels like the ballpark is that bad with the White Sox on the south side. The south side of Chicago is a horrible place. You know, there's not much to do around the ballpark. They tried different areas to make a new one. They're having a hard time trying to find the Bears stadium. They might have found something downtown or in the same area. They were trying to go in the suburbs, but that didn't happen. But, man, this is going to be a story that's going to keep going on and on through the offseason. Just, again, off of the worst year ever for MLB team. So at least maybe some positive news may be coming for those White Sox fans, unless the new ownership, you know, moves them away.
And speaking of good news, 2 people on base for the Mets.
Yeah, there was a definite threat here. So hey, let's see. Oh, let me go quickly to the attendance figures for this year real quick, and then we'll get to the reels. Then we'll get to some commentary of the game, because maybe the Mets can make a comeback here. But for 2024, the season attendance here, of course, the Dodgers led the way. They have the most capacity in their stadium, I think, at 56,000. And if, believe it or not, they had 4% less people come out. Maybe because of ticket prices, whatever the case is. But look at San Diego. They had so many sellouts this year. They had more people come than last year, which was a record. They got over 3 million people, which never happened. The Phillies are there, the Braves and the Yankees round out the top 5. And look at that. Even though the Cardinals had a bad year, they were still 6th. The Cubs, the same thing. People came out to root on the Diamondbacks after they went to the World Series. They had a great thing this year, Chris, where you could buy standing room only tickets for a certain price for the whole season. And it was really cheap. And it was a season ticket, standing room only price or ticket, a pass.
It was like probably $1,000 maybe.
No, it was way less than that.
$20.
No, I think they did it by month too, but
Okay.
But it was a great deal to bring people in. It was like you might as well get them in and buying stuff, merch and food. You might as well get them in the ballpark, and they did that. It was amazing. So look at our 2 teams. They're right in the middle. Texas outdrew the Angels just by a little there. Or no, by 2,000 plus more. Look at that. The Rangers got 13% more people in after the World Series championship. And look at the Angels. 12% less people came to Angel games, including me. I didn't go as much. I didn't want to. You look at the bottom, though, of the ranking there, and it's, of course, the Rays, the White Sox. Below that, I believe, is Miami and, of course, Oakland, rounding out the last part about that. What I was kind of disappointed, you see the Baltimore Orioles, and maybe they didn't have the same year they did last year, but they were kind of in the middle as well. At Washington outdrew them somehow, and that was kind of a shocker. I thought the Orioles would bring out more people, but maybe it's the area of the ballpark. I don't know. But that was the attendance figures from this year for 2024. But they said it was a good attended year. And it wasn't just LA and San Diego and New York. There was other places like I mentioned, Arizona, that people came out to see, and everybody wanted to see Ohtani on the road or the Yankees on the road with their 3-headed monster who you saw tonight do stuff. So that was fun to see. All right, let's do some reels, and then let's call the game for a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember all the ones that I sent and what will come up. That's the fun part about this.
Yeah. Hold on 1 second.
I got
it queued up.
Okay, I'll just call the action before it comes on. So the bases are loaded, nobody out for New York. They're down 7-2, the bottom of the 6th. Iglesias is up. He has a hit song, by the way, that went out in, I think it was June or July. I can't remember. But they had a fun, I think we had it on deck here, where they had the concert going after a walk-off win. It was so perfect. But yeah, the Dodgers had their bullpen has been amazing lately. The starters have been amazing lately. So we'll keep tabs on that. Iglesias has a 1-2 count with the bases loaded and nobody out. Evan Phillips pitching for the Dodgers now after it was who the hell started for the Dodgers? I was watching the Cleveland game. Okay, so let's set this up for you here. This is the 35th anniversary of the ground moving in the Bay Area as Game 3 of the World Series was about to start. So it came on about 5 o'clock Pacific time. Think about this. Everybody's watching this. And everybody's at this game or trying to get there at Candlestick Park in San Francisco. Now, Mother Nature doesn't tell anybody when it's going to happen. It just happens. And this here is the 35th anniversary of this happening. 10 days before I was born, by the way. Hello, Mom. So we'll play the video and then we'll get your reaction after this.
Then we zoom into Candlestick. Park in the southeastern corner of the city. For the first time in 27 years, a World Series game will be played in Candlestick Park. The World Series, the Oakland Athletics against the San Francisco Giants. I'm Al Michaels. Welcome to Game 3. It's been dominant Oakland pitching, of course, in the first two games. So Roger Craig has made some changes in the Giants lineup. Ken Oberkfell, the great pinch hitter, will start at third base. Matt Williams moves from third base to shortstop. Jose Uribe is on the bench. Pat Sheridan takes over for Candy Maldonado in right field. Now the Giants, of course, are faced with the formidable task, having to win 4 or 5 in essence to win the World, to overcome a 2-love deficit. Most recently, it was done by the New York Mets in 1986 against the Boston Red Sox, and it was done the year before as well in 1985 by Kansas City against St. Louis. So the Giants tonight will be sending Don Robinson to the mound, and for Oakland, it will be Bob Welch, and there's no designated hitter in effect in the National League Park. Let me turn now to Tim McCarver. You know, Tim, we talked in Game 1, the final score was 5-0, but there was a key early play involving Terry Kennedy dropping a throw from Will Clark at the plate. We go back to Game 2, the score was 5-1. But there were 2 key plays early in that one as well.
Well, you don't often think of key plays in a 5-1 ball game, but let's go back to the top of the third inning. Will Clark, the batter. The Giants have not had the lead in these 2 games. A 3-2 count, a split finger fastball by Mike Moore, pounced on by Terry Steinbach, the Oakland catcher. But look at the tough throw that he had to complete the day with Brett Butler running between him and Clark. Flash forward to the bottom of the 4th inning. Dave Parker, barely by inches, just misses a home run. Candy Maldonado with the hesitation, allowing Jose Canseco to score, and he fails to get Dave Parker at second base. So the Oakland A's take.
I'm saying what, we're having an earth. I don't know if we're on the air. We are in commercial, I guess. Yes, we hear you. I guess I don't hear a thing. I guess Dave Parker. Well, I don't know if we're on the air or not, and I'm not sure I hear at the moment, but we are. Well, folks, that's the greatest open in the history of television, bar none. Yes, you certainly did. We're still here. We are still, as we can tell, on the air, and I guess you are hearing us, even though we have no picture and no return audio. And we will be back, we hope, from San Francisco in just a moment.
So what happened that day, October 17th, 35 years ago in 1989, was a 6.9 earthquake that lasted 10 to 15 seconds. It was the Loma Prieta earthquake, they called it. It was just tremendous damage all over the Bay Area. The Bay Bridge, actually, the top of it collapsed to the bottom. And there was other freeways that collapsed within. That led to different ways of building things. I mean, there were fires all over the cities, especially San Francisco, with every building being so close together on hills or whatever. And, of course, they canceled the game. 10 days later, they came back to play Game 3 of that series. I believe it was Game 3.
And there's a streamer.
As you saw, they played 2 games in Oakland. They had the home court advantage or home field advantage, and they won both games. They went on. The A's went on to sweep the Giants in 4 games, but 2 games were, of course, 10 days apart. So yeah, I mean, that was just something to think about when it happened. If you're around back then, of course.
And I was not, but it's interesting. I remember watching, I can't remember when it was, but ESPN had like their 30th anniversary, and they did like a documentary, and they talked about this. ESPN Sports Center started in '79. 10 years later, you had this earthquake,
Mm-hmm.
and that was probably one of their biggest events, or not event, but moments in that show history. And
Think about it. Everybody was there covering it. So ESPN had Chris Berman and Bob Levy there, or I think his name was Levy. Anyway, they were there doing pre and post game coverage. The game, of course, was on ABC, and you saw Al Michaels with Tim McCarver, and they were going to do the game.
I thought it was funny they did the, how Al Michaels and Chris Collinsworth had the slide in. Did you notice that kind of?
Oh yeah, but now there's no slide in with what's his name, Tirico. Tirico. Oh yeah. I mean, with Thursday Night Football. By the way, I don't even care about the game today. Deep drive. Oh no. So the Mets leave the bases loaded, and it's still 7-2 going to the 7th inning. Los Angeles leading. Ugh. So that happened 35 years ago on this day. And there was a couple of other things, Chris, on our reels that happened on this day.
Yeah.
That involves the postseason, if you want to bring those up.
I am getting the second one.
I believe it's all the same day today. I want to say it is, but yeah.
It's coming up real quick.
Mother Nature does not, stop for anybody or anything. Okay. I guess we can. Oh, yeah. So this was
1999.
25 years ago.
This is the next one.
And it was the New York Mets looking to move on to play in the NLCS. Oh, no, it's the NLCS now. Yeah. They're looking to move on to play, of course, the next round, I believe. No, I'm sorry. No, the Braves went on to win this series, the National League Championship Series in '99. But in the 15th inning of this Game 5, Robin Ventura hit a grand slam, but he only stepped on first, and then the players all went to go get him. So the score was only 4-3 when it was supposed to be 7-3. So it's one of these odd situations that they didn't let him go all the way for the grand slam. But now everybody does that, though. So you play it whenever.
All right, here we go.
A drive to right. Back to Georgia. What a scene at Shea. Well, they will not let Robin Ventura run around the bases. Not to circle the bases for his grand slam to be official. I'm looking for the umpires, and they've left the scene. A 5-hour and 47-minute trip to Bedlam.
Okay.
First of all, I like the black jerseys on the Mets.
Hell yeah. They had those on yesterday, well, a different kind of version of them, and they lost 8-0. But yeah, those were great. When they brought them out in those years, those were a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And then they even had a black road jersey that had New York on them. So, yeah, those are cool to me. And they brought him back a few years ago, and everybody was loving it. So it's those rare occurrences where they didn't let someone round the bases for a grand slam, and nobody cared because they won the game. It didn't matter. It's one of those things that is always remarkable. All right, so that happened 25 years ago on this day. Right, for Ventura. I don't think he cared either because he's like, oh, I just won the game. And all these people are coming to get me.
But they said it must count. He has to go around and count.
Right.
So that's why it's like, oh, it does count. So here comes the next one.
By the way, shout out to on this day in MLB, the Instagram account where I found all this and remember all this. So 19 years ago today, Albert Pujols, and I remember exactly where I was watching this game. He hit a ball that just killed the Astros for a while. It was amazing because it went over the train tracks up in Houston, and that's pretty far to get it out of there. And if the roof was open, or if the doors were open, that would have literally went out of the ballpark. You just have to see it to believe it.
Alrighty, here we go. Maybe.
On the pool. In the air, left field. And Pujols is given
See right
St.
there.
Louis the lead. A dramatic tower. Stunned in disbelief here in Houston. How about Albert Pujols?
He got the slider, but it was not a good slider. Stayed right over the middle of the plate. He nearly knocked that left field wall down out there behind the Crawford box. I mean, that's the best extension we've seen from Pujols in this series. He has no doubt that ball's headed out of here.
First,
okay, so
Fox's scoreboard. A little better than what
I
they
missed
got now.
that. Yeah, just amazing because that killed the pitcher's confidence for years. Brad Litch, he went on to the Phillies, and he was giving up big home runs. Postseason not. He did end up winning a World Series ring in 2008 with the Phillies over the Rays, and he got the last out of that series. But Pujols and the Cardinals went on in 2004 to get swept by the Red Sox, who ended their 86-year curse. These two met again in the NLCS the next season, and the Astros had their revenge. Then they went on to get swept in the World Series in 2005 by the Chicago White Sox, who broke their streak of not winning a World Series since, when was it? 1918, I believe it was. Anyway, yeah, it was a fun time in baseball all those years ago, almost 20 plus years ago. How curses ended. And how we had these mammoth figures like Pujols just destroy teams and franchises. I mean, it was just amazing.
Yeah.
Do we have another reel? I forgot.
Yeah, I'm getting it up.
Okay.
Quick.
By the way, it's 7-2 still
You're
LA.
cutting me
They
out
have
for a
2
minute,
men
though.
on with one
There you
on. Oh yeah, no. Oh, we can skip this because it's the same video, but it was on the reel. Yeah, we can skip this one. after this, I don't think we have a real. And I was trying to figure out if we were going to do entertainment hour at 8 or 9. Maybe
No, we
9
don't.
would be better. Okay, we'll call the rest of the game.
We do have one.
Which bring it up. Let's
Yeah,
see.
we can stop the reels.
Okay. Because I forgot what it was.
Okay, hold on.
Okay, the Dodgers have 2 on, 1 out, 7-2. They always seem to have 2 people on, don't they? 2 outs. As Taylor strikes out. I think Chris will be back. He probably had technical difficulties. But let's call the rest of the hour and the rest of the game with you here on deck. Obviously, the Bugs have come in, and the Mets will have a pitching change with Phil Maton leaving. Shohei Ohtani will come up with 2 people on base, first and second for LA, and they're already up 7-2, looking to get more runs and giving the Dodgers a 3-1 lead in the series, in that National League Championship Series. Again, in the American League Championship Series, Cleveland had the tying home run, 2-run home run by Janeski Noel. And then, of course, in the 2 innings later, David Fry had his 2-run home run walk-off to give Cleveland the win, 7-5, and the Yankees still lead that series 2-1. We have Chris back, and surprisingly, it went to commercial, of course, because they had a pitching change. Again, we're trying to figure out when to start entertainment hour. I mean, not entertainment hour. Sorry.
I hate when that happens.
Kicking it, of course. I don't know if we want to do it at 8 o'clock or probably 9 o'clock. I guess would be better, just to give us time to get ready for that and all the concoctions of, would you try these chips? Would you try this? Would you try that?
Mm-hmm.
And all the crazy videos Ace finds. I mean, it's crazy sometimes how the that show is.
Yeah. So I got a question, and it's going to kind of tie in with that in baseball. I was at the fair the other day, and I tried. It was basically bacon on the stick, but it was wrapped with cotton candy.
Was what?
Like bacon wrapped with the cotton candy.
Yeah, that's a crazy mix. It's like something you would have for like one day of the fair or 1 hour of the fair, and then let's have some dessert, and you just blend it in. Your stomach would hurt though.
Yeah.
Okay, Danny Young is coming in. The count goes to 1-1. He threw a strike in there to Shohei Ohtani. He has 17 hits in the span of 20 at-bats with runners in scoring position. First player ever to do that in the live ball era, whatever the hell that means. Swung on and missed by Ohtani, 1-2. 2 on, 2 out, the count 1-2 to Shohei, with the Dodgers already up 7-2 and looking to get more. Man, the Met fans, they just look dejected. Some of them believe, but some of them are just beaten, basically. Okay, Young's 1-2 pitch coming up. He'll step off of the bag, and Muncy will go back to second. Shohei today, 1 for 1. He also walked unofficially. Podges at first, Muncy at second, and the 1-2 pitch from Young, and Shohei reaches out and grounds out to second. The shovel to first in time from Iglesias to Alonso. The bat broke by Shohei. So the Mets stopped the Dodgers from scoring. It is stretch time. It's the bottom of the 7th. The Dodgers lead 7-2. The Mets are running out of outs and running out of games. Yikes.
So the live ball.
Go ahead.
I was going to say the live ball era is a period of time inside game dominance. Was also known as the dead ball era. The inside game was a style of play that emphasized pitching speed and batsmanship. Bunting was very common, and doubles and triples were more, I guess, more.
So
uncommon.
basically, everything past 1920. Basically, it's when Babe Ruth came in, and then he just started hitting home runs and drinking beer and eating hot dogs, and he was just boom, boom, boom. He just kept hitting the ball. How about this? We do the bottom of the 7th, and then we get out of here, and we what is it? We prepare for kicking it after that.
Kicking it.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's call the rest of this 7th inning, and then we'll get out of here. Commercial, and of course, it's a you get these medication commercials, and
especially for the news. The news always has them too, and it's like
so they're everywhere, I guess. So it's about people having a fun time outdoors and everything. But hey, what about your condition that you're feeling? We have a medicine for it, but you're going to feel like crap during it. And you'll push everyone you love away from you. But don't worry, you'll go hiking again, probably by yourself. And of course,
like,
the McDonald's commercial comes up.
And then it's like, here's a medication, but it comes with hefty.
By the way, when I take I take the Wegovy, you know, all those people dancing in a circle and crap like that ejection for weight loss. The symptoms were saying like depression, fear, anger, like crap like that. And I was like, I didn't feel any of that, but I was waiting for it, definitely. Okay, Blake Trinan coming in to face Francisco Lindor to start the bottom of the 7th for the Mets. It's a breaking ball outside for ball 1. Lindor tonight 1 for 3 in game 4 here. The LA leading 2-1. He singled back in the 3rd. Triton's 1-0 is inside on a sinker. The count goes to 2-0. Lindor has been the fire starter for the Mets this postseason. He started rallies and he's had some solo shots. He's been awesome for New York. The 2-0 pitch is in there for a strike, a sinker at 96. That's crazy to think about. Sinkers back in the day were 10 miles per hour lower than they are now. By the way, the Dodgers are 68 and 55 after leading the 7th inning. So they know what they're doing late in the regular season. The 2-1 pitch is inside. The count goes to 3-1 to Lindor. This is a hitter's count. Okay, Triton's 3-1 is grounded up the middle, base hit. It goes past Edman.
Miss. Got it.
So it's leadoff single for Lindor, and the Mets have a runner on. The game started off with Shohei with a home run, and then Yoshinobu Yamamoto went 4 1/3 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, and 9 strikeouts. That's who started for LA. Mookie Betts 4 RBIs tonight, 3 for 4 with a home run and a double. So he's been as advertised. He's waking up ever since he heard the criticisms. There's a double play happening there for the Dodgers. There's one in there. No, the throw is offline to first by Taylor.
1 out.
So there's 1 out and 1 on.
7-2 is your score. Bottom of the 7th. 1 out. Man on base.
Taylor, the other Taylor, Tyrone Taylor, will now be at first. Lindor was out at second. And here comes the Polar Bear, Pete Alonso. As some of the Met fans are standing, I should say. He's 0 for 2. He walked back in the third.
Don't you just like it when they have nicknames?
I miss the good ones. There's a sweeper in there for a strike, 0-1. If that was anywhere in the middle, that would have been hit in a long way. So 0-1 for Alonso from Blake Triton, the Dodger reliever. Second pitch is low, 1-1 the count. Again, Alonso over 2, but he walked back in the third.
We should do our 5 or less that we do on Entertainment Hour, and do top 5 player nicknames in baseball. Oh,
that's pretty easy. The runner didn't go there. Viennos. It was Viennos at first. Now I'm sorry, not Taylor. The ball got away, but not too far enough for Viennos to move as Will Smith pounced on that ball.
He didn't slap the ball?
Nope. I was waiting for something. The 2-1 from Triton Alonso swung on and missed on the sinker at 95 on the gun. 2-2 the count. By the way, we have a group mess. Oh, yeah, it's Entertainment Hour. By the way, Entertainment Hour should be a lot of fun, but we will talk about the member of One Direction who passed away. The 2-2 is in the dirt, low. 3-2 the count now to Pete Alonso with Viennos at first.
Bottom of the 7th, 3 balls, 2 strikes, man on base, 1 out. 7-2 is your score. Dodgers in the lead.
I hate the Dodgers, man. The action pitch coming. Action pitch coming, swung on a miss, strike 3. The sinker got Alonso. He chased it. It had some good movement on it. And 2 outs now in the bottom of the 7th for the New York Mets. Yikes. By the way, the New York Mets, they have 45 comeback wins this season, including the postseason, the most in the MLB, but they're facing a Dodger team that just has too much, I believe. Left-handed Neto comes up, Nemo, and there's a sweeper in there for a strike from Triton. 0-1 the count, again with Viennos at first. What were you saying?
I was going to say, I like how we're synced up.
Yeah, I was having a
plan, but
I love that.
Up.
So I watch other streams and they take time to get synced up. There's another sweeper. Chase swung on and missed in the dirt. 0-2 the count. So Triton doing well.
When you say he swung at it, as you said that, he swung at it. It was like, whoa.
I love calling the games. I can call it almost any sport except probably hockey. The 0-2 count in the dirt, but Will Smith blocks it. So the count 1-2. Viennos could have been already at third if the 2 pitches got away. But he's stuck at first there. Again, he grounded into the force play. He was one, of course, had the grand slam in Game 2 in L.A. that propelled the Mets. 1-2 count, and it's fouled away by Nemo. Tried the sinker inside, and Nemo fights it off. The count remains at 1-2. 2 outs, 1 on for New York. They're trailing 7-2. Nemo tonight 1 for 3. Triton's 19th pitch will be up and coming here. And the 1-2 is lined into right field, base hit. Viennos will probably stay at third. No, he'll go to third easily. The throw coming back in for Betts on the 2-out single by Brandon Nemo. And again, the New York Mets are threatening somewhat. At least they're threatening.
If they get a home run, it'd be 7-5.
Yeah, but I'd need more.
Oh,
I need more. By the way, there's some people that have left the ballpark.
Yeah. You at least need 1 more on base and then the home run.
And don't make the last out at home. Here's Starling Marte up for the Mets. He's also 1 for 3. He singled back in the 6th. And the first pitch is sweeper in there for a strike. You can tell Triton, it's been the sweeper and it's been the sinker. And the sinkers have been in, the sweepers have been out.
When I watch pitches and they bring up what it was, it's like that was a slider.
There's your sweeper. 0-2 the count. It was chased by Marte. You could just tell the sweeper now was the old slider. Now,
Okay.
but the sweeper's more of a dramatic, like a sweep. It doesn't slide, it sweeps. It's a big difference, I guess. It leads to all the arm injuries too, the elbow injuries. That's the key. Everybody is trained to throw it, but the elbows are not ready for it. The ball in the dirt, and again, Will Smith does a nice job of keeping it in front of him. The count goes to 1-2 to Marte. Runners on the corners for the Mets, trailing by 5. Here in the bottom of the 7th. Okay, the 1-2 from Triton to Marte. Here it is. And it's another sweeper, this time driven out to right field. Betts going back short of the track will make the one-handed grab.
Out.
And the Dodgers again escape a jam. We will go to the 8th inning, not us, but them, with the score of the Dodgers 7 and the Mets 2. All right, we'll get out of here for On Deck. Chris, what's your what's up?
Yeah, I think it's all but over for the Mets right now.
Feels like it.
Kind of like the Cowboys this past week.
Who they got
That
this
was
week?
Brutal. The bye week.
They need that. Okay.
Do we? I'm just kidding.
I know the Raiders need it. More of that talk will be on Morning Tailgate. You know, originally I was going to go to that. The Rams and the Raider game, but I was like, nah, I'm good. I don't want to see that.
You want to hear
watch
Jerry
it.
Jones. You want to hear Jerry Jones yell at radio people.
I heard that. I was like, yeah, he's done that before. I remember that.
What, fire him?
No, like yeah, but on the radio show, I remember he did that before.
Yeah.
Oh man, a lot to bring up on Morning Tailgate. Anyway, this has been On Deck though. We covered the postseason, the date in history. We did some commentary on the game today. We'll see you next time when we'll be in the World Series. Not us, but them, of course, and we'll give you what has happened then. We'll see you next time on Deck, and stay tuned, of course, at 9 p.m. for Kicking It with Ace and us and whomever else will show up. I think Christy Wilson and maybe Big B. And shout out to Callum McClurg, of course. He's doing the ESPN. He's doing this actually, the ESPN Plus game, the soccer game at the University of San Diego. So go check out that wherever you can find that.
I think he's doing it solo though.
I would hate doing anything solo, to be honest with you. No way. All right, we'll get out of here. Thank you for watching, folks, and we'll see you next time on Deck. Later.